Hey guys, YouTube Minute here. Alright, and now here I am continuing on with the ECW pay-per-view reviews. And now we come to the final original ECW pay-per-view. And so here I am with a review for ECW Guilty as Charged 2001. So, this was of course the only ECW pay per view in 2001. This took place like at the very beginning of 2001 on January 7th. So, yeah. So as far as the quality of the show goes, oh man, I just really don't know. The show isn't really necessarily bad, but gosh, I mean, the problem with the show really is just how just I mean, you just have like so much stuff on the show that it really just seems like an overbooked mess. So I don't know, did Paul Heyman bring in Vince Russo to actually book this event? Because I mean, honestly, like there's just like so much stuff that is like packed into this show. Like you just it just is like kind of like a ridiculous overbooked mess because like you just have like a whole bunch of like run-ins throughout matches, and there's a whole bunch of like non-wrestling of segments that are going on throughout the show. And yeah, and you just have like I've been talking before how they just how ECW really has just had like a lot of impromptu matches throughout the pay-per-views. It seems like they for like every pay-per-view they like always are like a squeezing in some impromptu matches. And yeah, and here that really is like just it's like very apparent because yeah, here like you just have like a whole bunch of impromptu matches on the show, and they're just like going on for absolutely no reason. Like you just like randomly get like a match that like is like squeezed in the show, and we just like have like a whole quite a few impromptu matches on the show. So so the show really just really does suffer from those problems, and it really just is like a kind of like a pretty big mess throughout this show. So this I guess like this show really is like kind of an example of like how ECW really was coming to an end, because yeah, you just really do like see like how just how like unorganized ECW really did seem to be at this time. And yeah, and it really was a sign that they were really like going to be closing their doors soon. So yeah, so this wasn't like really like on the level of WCW in '99 and 2000 bad, but yeah, you still just have like so much over overbooked stuff on the show that yeah, it really is just it is like a pretty unorganized show. So yeah, so that is really like what it comes down to. Like I said, like the show isn't really necessarily bad. Like there is some like good stuff on the show, but yeah, just like the booking is the stuff that really does bring the show down, because yeah, like I said, you just have a whole, numerous impromptu matches that go on, and really just like they all seem like really pointless because yeah, they are pretty short matches. So yeah, that is really like what this show really does suffer from. So yeah, so this really could have been actually like a pretty solid show, but the booking is the stuff that really does affect it. So yeah, so this show really just turns out to be like not really bad, but just kind of like a mediocre their mess, to be honest. Yeah, so that is really like the best way to really describe the show. So yeah, so I just really don't know what else to really say about it. So yeah, all right. So I guess I'll just start talking about the matches on the show. All right. So yeah, so as the show opened up with like the introduction from Joey Styles and Joel Gertner, uh, Joel Gertner then brought out the Street Boys to try to interview them, but then yeah, then as they were coming out, then the Baldies then ran out and attacked them. Then as they were attacking them, then all of a sudden Jerry Lynn and Cyrus then ran out. Then yeah, then it just like suddenly became like a match between the Street Boys and Jerry Lynn and Cyrus. Yeah, and I just really don't know like what the hell happened here. Like all it was just the Baldy's just like attacking the Bad Street Boys, and then then as they got into the ring, then Jerry Lynn hit like a cradle pile driver on Joey Matthews. Yeah, then Cyrus then came into the ring and made the pin. So Jerry Lynn and Cyrus then won, and all of a sudden. So so I just really don't know what the hell happened here. Then after the match, Jerry Lynn then was saying how he is he it was wanting to be in the main event or something, and he'll refuse to compete unless he is in the main event. Yeah, and pretty much is kind of issuing an open challenge. So like I said, just this match kind of just just all of a sudden happened. What in the world? How did this even become a match? So I'm not really gonna rate this because I just really don't know how to really say rate this, because it just kind of all of a sudden happened and then just kind of ended. It was just the Baldy's beating the Bad Street Boys up. Then all of a sudden Jerry Lynn and Cyrus come out, and then just Jerry Lynn hits one move, and then Cyrus comes in and makes the pin. So not really gonna rate this, but this just was really dumb. This was just a bad way to open the show up. And this was really kind of a sign of what I was talking about with the excessive impromptu matches on the show, and how the show really was just an overbooked mess, to be honest. All right. Then after this, then we had the ECW Tag Team Championship on the line. It was Danny Doring and Roadkill versus Hot Commodity, Julio De Niro, and Easy Money. And this match was actually a pretty solid match. It was a nice back and forth match between the two teams. Of course, the other members of Hot Commodity were trying to get involved, but then it ended up backfiring. And the match did go back and forth. Not really anything too memorable about the match, but it was a solid, entertaining tag match between the teams. Then eventually Danny Doring and Roadkill then delivered a buggy bang to Julio De Niro, and were able to get the pin. And so then Danny Doring and Roadkill ended up retaining the titles. So like I said, that was a solid hit tag title match between the teams. Not really anything memorable, but still a solid match. So I guess I would give that probably 3 stars. Then after the match, a Hot Commodity then started to attack Danny Doring and Roadkill some more. But then Nova then came out and made the save. Then it just all of a sudden became a match between Nova and Chris Hamrick. So again, another impromptu match right here. And so just why did this suddenly turn into a match? So I'm not really understanding how ECW just is all of a sudden when somebody comes in to run in for a save, it suddenly turns into a match. So I really don't understand ECW's logic in that. And this match really just this was nothing special at all. This really was just a slow, boring 5.5-minute match. Not really anything happened, and then Nova ended up they were fighting. Then Chris Chetty then came out and tried to screw over Nova. Chris Chetty was dressed in a referee shirt, and at one point as the regular referee was knocked out, Chris Chetty came out in a referee shirt. Then as Chris Hamrick had Nova covered, Chris Chetty tried to screw Nova by making a quick count. But then the original referee then recovered, and then it was shown saw that Nova had his shoulder up, so the decision didn't stand. Then as Louis dangerously came out and tried to hit the referee, he knocked the referee out with the cell phone once again. Spike Dudley then came out and fought with Chris Chetty. Then eventually hit with a Dudley dog and got rid of him. Then Nova hit a senton bomb on Chris Chetty and a kryptonite crutch to Chris Hamrick, and then Nova then pinned Chris Hamrick with Spike Dudley making the pin count. So Nova ended up winning. So yeah, so this match just like was like very slow, boring, dumb, and yeah, like I said, just another like impromptu match that just happened for absolutely no reason. So yeah, so I just give that like I'll give that 1 star. Then next up, then we had a CW Anderson versus a Tommy Dreamer in an I Quit match. Yeah, and this was actually a really entertaining match. Like, yeah, the guys really did fight back and forth. Obviously, like due to it being an I Quit match, the guys really did have did use like a lot of submissions on one another. Yeah, yeah, and there was a lot of weapon use in the match from a table, a chair. At one point, like a Tommy Dreamer brought in some like barbed wire in the match. Yeah, yeah. Then at one point, Tommy Dreamer delivered a Dreamer driver to CW Anderson and from the top turnbuckle onto the table. Yeah. Then it just like went back and forth for a while. Like the guys were just like using weapons on each other and getting each other in submission holds. Yeah, and it was actually a really entertaining match. Yeah. Then eventually, then Tommy Dreamer then like got like a piece of cable from the table and then wrapped it around CW Anderson's head and was like kind of like pulling it back, kind of like a chokehold or something. Yeah. Then yeah, then and yeah, then as it like started to like cut CW Anderson's eyes, then CW Anderson quit. So yeah, so Tommy Dreamer won the match. So yeah, so that was actually a really nice, entertaining I Quit match. So yeah, this was a really good match. So yeah, so I give that match I guess I'll give it like 3.5 stars. Yeah. Yeah. And then next up, then we had a three-way dance tag match to determine number one contenders for the ECW Tag Team Championship. It was the Unholy Alliance, Toshihiro Tajiri and Mikey Whipwreck versus the FBI, Little Guido and Tony Mamaluke versus Kid Kash and Super Crazy. Yeah, and yeah, this really was like a pretty good three-way dance tag match. I mean, yeah, I mean, like just like I've been saying before, like it's got like Tajiri in it, it's got Super Crazy in it, Little Guido in it, so yeah, and even like Kid Cash in the match. So yeah, I mean, so yeah, so I mean, with those guys and everything else that I have said about them in my previous reviews now, I mean, yeah, that can probably give you a guess to how this match really was. Yeah, this really was like a really nice match. Like all three of the teams really did do very well in the match. Like it was a nice, fast-paced match. Like went back and forth, some nice moves from the guys. Then eventually Kid Cash and Super Crazy ended up getting eliminated after Big Sal got involved in and delivered a splash to Kid Cash, and then that allowed I believe it was Little Guido to then well, no, it was Tony Mamaluke that was able to pin Kid Cash and eliminate Kid Cash and Super Crazy. Then as it continued between the FBI and Tajiri and Super Crazy, it continued to go back and forth, and yeah, they did really well. Then as Tajiri then kicked a Little Guido in the head 3 times, and then sprayed the green mist in Tony Mamaluke's eyes. Then Tajiri and Mikey Whipwreck then delivered tiger suplexes to both a Little Guido and Tony Mamaluke at the same time. Then they were able to pin the FBI. So Tajiri and Mikey Whipwreck ended up winning. So that overall was, like I said, a pretty good three-way dance tag match, and I mean, with it having a Tajiri Super Crazy, Little Guido, and the stuff they've already done, like I said, that can probably tell you how this match really did turn out. So a nice three-way dance. So I guess I would probably give that 3.5 stars as well. Yeah. Then next up, then we had just a very random, pointless match on here. Next up, we had Simon Diamond and Johnny Swinger versus Balls Mahoney and Chili Willy. Yeah, and this match it lasted less than a minute. It was just the guys fighting with each other. Yeah. Then all of a sudden, then Rhino then came out and just started attacking everyone. So yeah. So then the match then just just ended like that. Yeah, and then Rhino just attacked everyone and gave gores to everyone, including Dawn Marie and Jasmine St. Clair, who were at ringside as well. So yeah, so Rhino just like laid out absolutely everybody, and including Rhino, like gave Jasmine St. Clair a Rhino spike from the turnbuckles down to the canvas through a table. Yeah. So yeah, so just what was even the point of this? Like a minute, like this match didn't even last like a minute, and then it doesn't even like have a winner. It just like becomes like a totally pointless. So yeah, so this is another example of just like the overbooking and dumb impromptu matches like this. Like this match just like happened for absolutely no reason, and it was pointless to do. So yeah, so this was just stupid. So I can't really give it a rating once again because yeah, it was like less than a minute, so I really wasn't even much of a match. But yeah, this was just this was terrible. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Then after this, then we had the ECW World Championship on the line in a three-way dance TLC match. Yeah, it was Steve Corino defending against uh, the Sandman and Just Incredible, and this match was just like kind of okay. Like, yeah, there wasn't really anything that special about the match at all. I mean, it probably could, this really could have been like a lot better. Yeah, but yeah, for yeah, because like these guys really did seem like they were capable of a lot more than what we ended up getting. So yeah, so this match was just like kind of okay. Like there was a lot of weapon use in the match with the ladders and stuff. Like the guys ended up like breaking a couple ladders in the match. Yeah, then there was like a usage of like other weapons. Like I think a chair was used in the match, and there were tables used in the match, and yeah, it was just like a lot of weapon use in the match. Then as they were like the guys were just like fighting with each other. Then eventually at one point, like just incredible, I think like put Steve Corino through a table. Yeah, then that allowed Sandman to climb the ladder and retrieve the ECW World Championship. So yeah, so Sandman ended up winning the ECW title in this match. So yeah, so like I said, this was just like kind of an okay match. Like yeah, this really could have been a lot better than what we wound up getting. So yeah, so I guess like this was really like one of the disappointments of the show. So yeah, so I would just give that match like I guess I'll give it 2.5 stars. Yeah, yeah. Then next, well, yeah. After this, then all of a sudden, then Rhino then came out and then attacked Sandman, and then Sandman then got like forced by Rhino into like putting the ECW World Championship on the line against him in another impromptu match right here. Yeah, and yeah, so then we got like this match, Sandman versus Rhino. Yeah, and yeah, this match it was only like a minute. Rhino like was just like put Sandman through a couple tables. Then eventually he Rhino then delivered a pile driver to Sandman from the apron through a table down to the floor. Then Rhino then hit another pile driver on Sandman through onto a table. Then Rhino then pinned a Sandman, and Rhino won the ECW World Championship. So yeah, man, of course, as Paul Heyman did say numerous times in the year 2001, yeah, this like had Rhino being the last man to hold the ECW World title. So yeah, so I guess like this is significant for that. But yeah, this still just yeah, like this once again like it was only a minute long, so I cannot rate it. So yeah, but yeah, I guess like this was just I guess it served its purpose. Yeah, then yeah, and then yeah, then after Rhino uh won, then Cyrus then came along with Rhino. Then they like just issued an open challenge to anyone to challenge a Rhino for the ECW World Championship. So then RVD then came out and answered the challenge, but then before RVD could actually like go at it with Rhino, then Jerry Lynn then ran out and attacked RVD from behind. Yeah, and so yeah, then this then turned into a match. So yeah, so last match of the night was Rob Van Dam versus Jerry Lynn. So yeah. So another impromptu match once again. Just why are they having so many impromptu matches? Yeah, but yeah, it's RVD versus Jerry Lynn, and it's very fitting that they really did like have this be the last match for an ECW pay per view. Like this was the very last ECW pay per view match ever. Yeah, yeah, and yeah. If you've seen my other reviews with RVD Jerry Lynn matches on them, then yeah, you probably can guess how this turned out. Yeah, this was still overall a pretty great match between the two guys. I think that this was probably like of the four that I have like talked about so far, this one is probably the weakest one. But yeah, it was still like a pretty great match. Yeah, the guys did just go back and forth. There were like a lot of counters in the match. They were like fighting all around the ring. They fought on the outside of the ring. So yeah, still a real great match. And yeah, and it really did like it was great to see this really be the last pay per view match in ECW history. Yeah. And yeah, just a really nice back and forth match. It really went on for a while. Yeah, it went on for like about like 25 minutes. Yeah, it just like really did go back and forth between the two guys. And yeah, and there were like a usage of chairs, of course, in the match. Jerry Lynn like delivered like the sunset flip power bomb to RVD. RVD like at one point like attempted to go for a 5-star frog splash on Jerry Lynn, but Cyrus like was able to prevent RVD from doing it, and Jerry Lynn was able to avoid the 5-star frog splash. Yeah, but yeah, then Joel Gertner then came out and then yeah, then attacked Cyrus, and then helped RVD deliver like the Van Terminator to Jerry Lynn, driving a chair into his head. Then RVD was then able to pin Jerry Lynn and get the win. So RVD wins once again against Jerry Lynn. So yeah. So despite the fact that it was another impromptu match, yeah, it was still a great match. Yeah, like I said, probably the weakest of the all the RVD Jerry Lynn matches I've talked about now, but yeah, still overall a great match. So I guess I would give this match probably like a 4.25. Yeah. So overall with the show, oh gosh, I really don't know what to really give it for the overall score. I guess I'll probably give it a 5.75 out of 10. Yeah, I think, yeah, that's what I'll give it. Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's not really like a bad event, but yeah, like I said, it is just like such an overbooked mess. Like, too many impromptu matches on the show. Plus, yeah, this show, like I said, it really did have a whole bunch of non wrestling segments on it segment. Yeah, and plus there were just like a whole bunch of run-ins, such as like some of the ones I talked about on the show, with like the Chris Chetty run-in and the Spike Dudley run-in and the Joel Gertner run-in and the Rhino run-in. So yeah, as you can tell, there were like a lot of run-ins on the show. So yeah, so the show really just like was just like so overbooked, and it really did kind of feel like Vince Russo really did come into ECW to book this. So the booking really is like the main problem with the show. Like there are like some good matches on the show, but yeah, it really is like just like overshadowed by like just a whole bunch of like ridiculous overbooking with like so many impromptu matches and the run-ins and the non-wrestling segments and all that other stuff. So it is kind of sad to see that like ECW like ended their pay-per-views. Like the last ECW pay-per-view turned out to be like such an overbooked mess. So yeah, and like I said, this really like did seem to be a sign that like ECW was on its final days, and yeah, they would like go out of business very shortly after this. So it really does suck that this ECW's like last pay per view turned out to be such a mess like this. Yeah, but yeah, it did at least still have some good points, and yeah, and it was nice to see that the very last ECW pay per view match was RVD versus Jerry Lynn. So nice to see like they did at least go out on a good note like that. Yeah, but yeah, still just yeah, so much overbooking and stuff really do like stop the show from being like a good or even like decent. So the booking really is the stuff that really does bring the show down. Yeah. So I guess that's really the best way I can really put it with the show. All right. So like I said, 5.75 out of 10. All right, so I guess that's all I can really say about it. All right, so this is my review of ECW Guilty as Charged 2001. So I hope you guys did enjoy this review, and that is the end of the original ECW pay-per-views. So ECW really did have a lot of ups and downs throughout like their basically 4-year pay-per-view run. Yeah, there were some great shows, but yeah, there were also some really bad shows as well, such as like the ones following the very first one, Barely Legal, throughout 1997, which I've talked about. Yeah, and there have been like other ones that really were not so good as well, but yeah, they did have their share of really great ones as well, such as Barely Legal and Heatwave 98 and Anarchy Rules 99 and some other ones like that. So yeah, so it really would just seem to be like, yeah, ECW really did have like a lot of ups and downs throughout their run on pay-per-view. Yeah. Yeah, but we're not done yet. Yeah, the reviews are not finished yet because, yeah, we are done with the original ECW pay-per-views now. But yeah, like I said, I am also going to be talking about the two ECW One Night Stand pay-per-views to finish off these reviews. So yeah, so the reviews for the two One Night Stand pay-per-views are going to be coming up next as I finish off these reviews. So stay tuned for the One Night Stand pay-per-views coming up next as these reviews conclude. All right. But yeah, but I hope you guys did enjoy this review. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.